Hello, it's me again. I'm very excited to be back, and sooner than I had anticipated, because if you listened to the last episode, I was planning on trying to release one episode maybe once a month just to kind of keep the podcast going. And so I've been on maternity leave for the past few months, and I fully returned to work, which is mostly just starting to work with clients next month in November, because I've been doing a lot of sort of behind the scenes work during maternity leave, which I don't mind. I love to do it. But anyway, so my plan, if you've been following along with what I've been doing, was to transition from working with highly sensitive people, where I was mostly focusing on self-care, setting boundaries, really taking care of yourself, self-compassion, self-acceptance as an HSP. And I was starting to feel like being a mom was sort of taking over my life in the best possible way because I love being a mom. I've always wanted to be a mom. And so I felt like it was getting hard for me to come up with, especially for the podcast, content about sort of just like day-to-day HSP life stuff because all of mine now revolve around being a mom and taking care of myself in a different sort of way than I used to because I have two little kids now. So I was just finding it difficult to come up with content that was relatable and pertained to everybody. So that's when I decided I think I want to start working with moms exclusively, and especially moms of littles, to work on that transition into motherhood and how to start taking care of yourself, how to find a support system, build a support system, how to manage your emotions, how to just do there. It's a huge transition to have kids. And so I really wanted to be there to support other moms. And so that was my plan for the past several, I don't know, like 4 or 5 months maybe. And I was working toward it during maternity leave. I was working on all my programs. I was starting to put my programs out there for people who might be interested in them. But something was sort of holding me back, and I wasn't really sure what it was. Like, I wasn't marketing my programs as much as I feel like I should have been to try to fill them or at least get a few clients by November, so next month. And I didn't really know what that was. And luckily, I've my parents are a huge support for me, and my daughter, who's 3, was is now able to sleep over at my parents' house, which is awesome. It gives me a lot of time because it's just me and the baby, and he still sleeps a lot. He's only 9 weeks old, so he still sleeps a lot, so I get a lot of time to myself. I like get a lot of quiet just to think and like process things that I don't get when my daughter's here because she just go, go, go. She doesn't nap anymore. It's just a lot of stimulation. And so I don't even get like a moment to just be and just let my mind go and process things and think. And anyway, this is all to say that I think it was last week, I got some time and she was staying over at my parents' house. It was just quiet. I was just getting ready in the morning or something. And I just felt like I don't think working with moms is the right thing. Why? Because it's honestly, and it's weird that I feel sort of like guilty saying this because I know that so many moms really struggle with postpartum depression and anxiety, or just having no support system, or their partner is doesn't know how to be helpful with a baby, or with a young child, or whatever it is. I know a lot of parents and moms really struggle. It's been like pretty easy for me, and I feel guilty saying that because I don't want this to sound like I'm bragging or anything. I'm just saying it because I feel like that. I have pretty easy kids. Like they sleep really well. For the most part, my daughter is not at all a picky eater. I had a really great postpartum experience both times. Obviously, there have been some difficulties because that just happens when you have kids, especially when you're transitioning like from one to two. But I don't think I'm a good person to be the support for new moms because I don't have the experience of the struggle. And I feel like generally good supports, good mentors and coaches and therapists are the ones that have been through it. And so they're able to help their clients get through it as well. And while I was coming from a place of knowing how good it can be and wanting other moms to get to that same place and wanting to be able to help them get to that same place, I didn't have the struggle. It just works. And so I feel sort of silly. Like I really thought that I wanted to work with moms and this is what I wanted to do. But having the space to really process it made me realize that I'm not, I don't think I'll be a good support for moms. So this is not what I want to do. So So I spent my whole maternity leave working on my mom programs, and this is not what I'm doing. Anyway, what I am doing, and thank you so much if you listen to this whole thing, because I feel like I'm really rambling, but I wanted to give you the full background about what's been going on and what's coming. So I decided when I had this time to process, I thought I really do miss working with HSPs. I and what am I good at? So I love working with HSPs. I have had struggle in my life as a highly sensitive person. I did deal with depression and anxiety when I was younger for quite a while. I have struggled in a lot of ways that other HSPs struggle, feeling weird, feeling like I don't fit in. Um, Having really poor boundaries, wanting to be there for everybody else, not accepting myself and not being as compassionate to myself as I could be and should be. And so I've worked through all of those things. So I was thinking, what are my strengths? What have I been through where I can really help people? Um, and that is when it comes to healing. So my goal now, what I'm going to be doing as a mentor, and I've transitioned from the role of coach to mentor because I just feel like mentor feels softer. It feels more like I'm helping guide you and help you with from what I've learned in my life, as well as taking in all my trainings as a formerly licensed therapist, a new certification that I just got in the Clear the Fear method, and use all of that as a mentor. Coach just felt a little too like, I don't know. It just reminds me of like athletics. And I don't know. I feel like mentor just feels better for me. So I am back to being a mentor for HSPs. It feels so good. I'm going to be focusing on healing. So healing from generational patterns, healing from just your patterns that you've lived throughout your life, limiting beliefs that you've had that are holding you back. And I know that's like a huge catchphrase nowadays is limiting beliefs, but it is a big thing that can really get in your way in so many aspects of your life. And that's one thing that I really love working with people. And um and so, thinking about my strengths, I've been told by my one of my supervisors when I was a therapist, she said that I am a really like a healing presence, I think she said. I have a healing presence. And I thought that was one of the nicest things anyone's ever said to me. And I've also been told that I know that I'm really good at holding space for people. I'm really good at letting people be themselves and accepting them for who they are. And I think all of that combined is a really good mentor for working with people toward healing. So, like I said, healing generational patterns, healing those beliefs about yourself that are keeping you stuck and keeping you small, working with HSPs toward self-acceptance and self-compassion, and just taking care of yourself in those ways. So, not focusing so much on the day-to-day self-care, but focusing on healing your mind, healing your nervous system, so you can be the best version of you. Because this is what I really have found is the thread throughout my growth and healing journey is this. It's not the self-care because that has fluctuated, that has to change. It still has to change like weekly now, having a baby and a toddler. I mean, the baby's needs and his schedule changes all the time. So I have to be adapting all the time to that. But what doesn't change is my inner work and how I heal that way and the growth that I've had. So I'm really excited about this new chapter, and I'm so glad I had time right before I'm coming back from maternity leave to really figure this out so I can go in completely ready. I already have one client, one-to-one client lined up. I have two more one-to-one spots open right now. I will put all of the information about my program in the episode description so you can go to my website and check that out if you are interested in learning more. But right now, this is sort of an update. I'm not really going to go into my program too much. So check that out if you want to learn more and apply. I would love to have a conversation with you about that if you're interested. And anyway, so my second announcement, as you may have noticed, I have changed the name of the podcast to Highly Sensitive Healing to go along with what I am now doing as a mentor for HSPs. And so that means that the podcast is going to keep going. This may be the last episode for a few months because I really need um, to record a bunch of episodes, have them ready to go so that I'm not like scrambling last minute. I'd really love for this to be weekly again. And so if you'd like to be a guest, if you have a healing story that you would like to share and talk about on the podcast, please email me, lauren@laurenlasalle.com. That will be in the episode description as well. So I'd love to have you as a guest. I'm going to start scheduling guests as soon as I can because I really want to get this going. Ideally by like February or March to have this podcast have start having episodes come out weekly. And so, yeah, it's going to be still for highly sensitive people. It's going to be more focused on healing than just like general um, HSPs experiences and things that HSPs can learn from. So we've got a bunch of that in the previous episodes, but from now going forward, it's going to be more about healing and people's healing journeys and different ways that they have learned how to heal and things that they can share with you as well. So, whoo, I'm really excited about this. And obviously, if you are a mom, I'm still fully open to working with you. If you want to work one-to-one, we can still work on mom things too. It's just I'm not focusing mainly just on moms, just for HSPs now. And I'm excited and I missed you guys. And it's really feels good to be back. I know this podcast has continued to grow in its listeners and subscribers even since I posted the last episode, the new chapter episode, saying that I was ending it for now. So obviously you all still want to be here and to learn and to grow and to listen. And so I hope you will stay here as a listener. And it's just, like I said, a slightly different. My cat's jumping all over the place if you heard that thump. It's just coming from a slightly different angle than I had before for the podcast. So this I will be calling season 2. This is now Highly Sensitive Healing. I'm so happy to have you here and be continuing my journey with me as whatever I'm doing, coach, mentor, moms, HSPs, it's all good. Um, I'm glad I got to this place of clarity because I really needed it. And so here's to moving forward. I would love to continue to connect with all of you. I've had still people message me on Instagram saying that they found the podcast and they find it really helpful. And so I'd love to hear messages from anyone who would like to send them. I am also generally willing to meet with anybody for free for a 30-minute meeting if you just need to sort of like somebody to talk to who gets it or bounce things off of me, or you want to learn more about my mentorship program or whatever it is. Just send me an email or a DM and I would love to connect with you. I don't have an intro for this podcast yet. I'm not sure, honestly, if I'm going to make a new intro. I'm thinking about it. So it might just be just jumping in. I don't know. It's still a work in progress. Oh, you know what? The last thing that I have to share with you is this Tuesday. Yes, October 14th at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, I am doing a free live training. It's the Clear the Fear method that I've just recently become certified in. And it's all about subconscious reprogramming and clearing those limiting beliefs that are holding you back. And so this free event is Clear the Fear of Not Being Enough. And I would guess that every single HSP almost every single one of us at some point or another, even non-HSPs, like every person, so many people have felt like you are not enough at one point or another in your life. Maybe this has been something that it has been carried through with you throughout your life. Maybe this is something you've been working on. Either way, I would love to see you at this free event. All you need to bring is a piece of paper or a journal, pen or pencil, marker, whatever you like to write with. There will be a little bit of guided journaling at the beginning, and then we will go into the actual method. And I'm so excited to do this. I think this is going to be the only time I am offering this for free. So jump on this if you're interested. Because if you can't attend live, I will email you a recording of the event and then you can still follow along and get 100% out of it with the recording. But it is great if you can come live because then there's just everyone's energy and it really helps me as the person running the event to just know that there are people there who are excited about this as I am. So if you have ever felt like you are not enough, come to this free event on Tuesday, October 14th at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, and let's clear that fear, that belief of not being enough, and get that out. We go to the root source. It's a really cool process. I have gone through it myself multiple times, and I just feel like all the cobwebs have been like cleared out of my brain. That's the best way I can think to describe how I feel after doing this. It really like clears the junk out of your head. It's very cool. I hope to see you there. And I will probably talk to you in a few months unless I have some announcements to make. Very excited about the direction the podcast is heading and to be supporting HSPs again. And I am so happy to have you here with me.